Welcome to Singapore American School Chinese Department. My friends and I are excited to continue our learning journey with our Chinese teachers. Every day we practice our language skills, learn Chinese culture, and have lots of fun. I can't wait to show you more about what's going on inside our Chinese classrooms. Now let's take a closer look. This is our World Language Director, Lien. Let's listen to her detailed introduction about this program.
大家好, my name is Lien and I'm the Director of Languages school-wide. It's my privilege to work with the language teachers from preschool to grade 12 at SAS, and I also work with the immersion teachers in elementary. Welcome parents to Back to School Night. Please allow me a few minutes to give an outline of the Daily Language Chinese program in our SAS elementary school. With our desired student learning outcomes, or DSLOs, language teaching obviously easily covers three of those: the content knowledge, communication, and some aspects of cultural competence. Content knowledge refers to the specifics of the units of study that your child works through while building their language proficiency, the vocabulary, language structures, topics, etc. The other DSLOs will be also assessed over time alongside language development through the SAS school-wide competencies that have been developed. At SAS, we follow the Proficiency model created by the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages, or ACTFL. From the ACTFL proficiency pyramid, you can see that it is an inverted cone, because as our proficiency develops, it takes a longer time at each level to build language and content knowledge. Unlike more traditional approaches to teaching language, proficiency teaching and learning focuses on what the learner can do with the language in spontaneous and non-rehearsed situations. This is a visual to demonstrate that building proficiency is not like climbing a ladder. Students just don't move up one rung or level each year. It takes time to build out language skills and content knowledge, especially over the intermediate and intermediate high levels. We have created multi-year courses so that students can have a sense of development while building their skills out across a level. And please note that the naming of your child's class is their expected outcome for the end of the school year in terms of their proficiency. With the elementary school at SAS, we do have a strong cohort of students who are native or heritage speakers of Chinese. So we have created two tracks for the daily language program. One for the non-native or non-heritage students, where the focus is on building their oral skills and being able to express their ideas simply at the lower levels. But beginning at intermediate level, there is an increasing focus on literacy, such that our goal for students is to enable them to graduate from high school with a seal of biliteracy. Students in the regular daily language classes are not expected to memorize characters to write by hand. They are taught character recognition and learn pinyin so that they can type in Chinese. The Near Native program is designed for students who are first language speakers of Chinese at home, who come from fully Chinese-speaking families. The NN track is developed from kindergarten to grade 8, and students focus on all 4 language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing from the very first day of kindergarten. In this program, students are expected to write characters from memory, and they are taught in an immersive, native-speaking environment. For assessment in the ES Chinese program, there is regular ongoing assessment during the units of study known as formative and summative assessments. And your teachers will tell you more about that as they're speaking with you. The students also have proficiency interviews, either one-to-one or sometimes done as recordings of them in a conversation, responding to questions and asking relevant questions of their own. And that happens 2 or 3 times a year. The annual external assessment of proficiency is now the STAMP proficiency testing, which was created by a company called Avant Assessment. STAMP stands for Standards-Based Measurement of Proficiency. And it is one data point that we use for our teams to evaluate the effectiveness of our teaching. For students, it is not a high-stakes test, so please do not be panicking about the stamp testing for anyone in grades 2 or beyond. It is simply a means for us to know how we're doing with our teaching. And it's also not something the students can study for or memorize for. So please do not be worrying about that. We use it as a reference for us. We do, however, wish that the students will give it their best shot so that we can get accurate feedback from this external assessment. Thank you for your time this evening, and I'll hand back now to your classroom teacher.
Our Chinese teachers encourage us to practice Chinese outside of our classrooms as much as we can. I know many of our families don't speak Chinese at home. Don't worry, our Chinese teachers have prepared rich online learning resources. You can review the unit vocabulary and characters, listen to Chinese music, and watch Chinese videos anywhere, anytime. My personal favorite is the game at challenging me to recognize Chinese characters. You should try it too sometime. Have fun exploring! At the end of every unit, we have opportunities to demonstrate our language skills through one-on-one conversation with our Chinese teacher. My parents are proud of how much Chinese I can speak now. Oh, by the way, I know there is a little more requirement on homework and assessment for students from near-native class. All parents have the opportunity to meet with our Chinese teacher twice a year. During the conferences, teachers will share our learning progress, and I get to show off some of my Chinese skills. Our teachers can be contacted through emails, phone calls, and Seesaw app. Parents can find our teachers' contact information from school website or from our teachers directly. If parents want to make phone calls to our teachers, be sure to call them after 3, as they are with students most of the time during school hours. I hope you find this information helpful. I'm sure it's going to be another exciting year with all my friends here in SAS. Have a great evening, mommies and daddies.